Bangladesh records highest daily death toll since the start of pandemic. New 5,343 people tested positive. Long queues of consumers were formed at the OMS trucks of the TCB ahead of the Holy Ramadan and lockdown. Both shoppers and shopkeepers in a number of city markets largely ignored health restrictions imposed by the government. And the Ekushe Book Fair will draw to an early close on April 12 ahead of a new lockdown. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Mytv News. I'm Fawza Roshan with you in the newsroom today. We are still watching the headlines and I'm going to the details. Bangladesh recorded 77 coronavirus deaths in the last 24 hours, the highest single-day spike, raising the total number of deaths to 9,661 according to the official figures. Besides, 5,343 COVID-19 cases were confirmed during the period. With the latest, the total number of cases surged to 6,78,937. Director General of Health Services informed this in a press release today. A total of 26,077 samples were tested at 227 authorized laboratories across the country during the time. The press release added, in the past 24 hours, another 3,837 people were discharged from the hospital, raising the total number of cured patients to 5,72,378. Long queues of consumers from limited income groups were formed at the open market sale units of the Trading Corporation of Bangladesh at places across Dhaka today as the country goes into a week-long lockdown from Monday to tackle the COVID-19 situation. People were on somewhat buying spree across Dhaka, and the limited income people surged the TCB's OMS trucks. The buyers had to wait for hours in queues as there was a huge crowd. The TCB's dealers have posted 100 trucks at different parts of the city, but there were limited number of items. More 400 trucks are posted at places across the country. In most cases, the dealers forced the consumers to purchase all the items they had on display in a package, although they were supposed to sell commodities as per requirement of the consumers. Despite huge demand of onion from the consumers ahead of Ramadan, the TCB dealers could not provide the item on the day. There was also demand for edible oil as the difference between market price and OMS price was wider. But the dealers forced the all buyers to buy sugar, chickpeas, red lentil and a 2-liter bottle of soybean oil in package. Both shoppers and shopkeepers in a number of city markets today, the second day of market reopening after 4 days of a shutdown, largely ignored health restrictions imposed by the government amid worsening COVID-19 situation. Traders said that no government agents visited their markets on the first day, while the number of customers was very low. On April 4, the Cabinet Division issued an 11-point instruction restricting public movement and businesses and banning operations of all modes of public transport, including domestic flights, across the country for a week with effect from Monday. Traders protested at the government decision and took to the streets and even clashed with police in different parts of the country, demanding permission to keep shops open. Many consumers and traders were seen roaming around the markets without wearing face masks, while hand washing or sanitizing and maintaining physical distances was a far cry in the markets. Only a few shops were found maintaining limited measures, but most of the shops and the shoppers grossly ignored instructions. The 21 book fair will draw to an early close on April 12 ahead of a new lockdown. Senior Information Officer of the Cultural Affairs Ministry confirmed the decision today, citing State Minister for Cultural Affairs K.M. Khalid. He said the book fair was scheduled to continue until April 14, the first day of Bengali New Year. The government now decided to close it on April 12, considering the current COVID-19 situation. The fair that usually runs for the entire month of February began belatedly on March 18 due to the pandemic. The visiting hours for the book fair have already been changed several times. The government plans to enforce another 7-day lockdown with the sticker rules from April 14 with the offices shut. The coronavirus cases keep surging across Bangladesh. Hassan Shahriar, a veteran journalist and a former president of the National Press Club, has died in hospital care at the age of 76. He passed away during treatment at Impulse Hospital at 11:30 am today. Shahriar had been battling various health complications, including lung ailment, for a while. After falling seriously ill on April 8, he was initially taken to Labad Hospital before being moved to Anwar Khan Medical College Hospital. Having failed to find an empty ICU bed there, he was later admitted to Impulse Hospital. Born in Zilla, Suramganj, Shahriar completed his higher education and began his career in journalism with Pakistan's Dawn newspaper. Viewers, now news on sports. Now, time for details about cricket. The Bangladesh cricket team will travel to Sri Lanka on April 12 to play their last 2 matches in the ICC Test Championship. Before the two, the cricketers of the national team received the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, in addition to the 21 cricketers who were called up for the preliminary tour of Sri Lanka. A few others were vaccinated against coronavirus at Kurmitola General Hospital in the capital today. Some of the 29 cricketers have taken the first vaccine, while others have been taken the second vaccine. Earlier, in mid-February, the cricketers took the first vaccine in a few installments. Viewers, about to the end and the headlines once again. Bangladesh records the highest daily death toll since the start of the pandemic. New 5,343 people tested positive. Long queues of consumers were formed at the OMS trucks of TCB ahead of the Holy Ramadan and lockdown. Both shoppers and shopkeepers in a number of city markets largely ignored health restrictions imposed by the government. The Ekushe Book Fair will draw to an early close on April 12 ahead of a new lockdown. Five people were killed in the Coach Bihar district during the 4th phase of polling in the state assembly elections. And before Sri Lanka tour, the cricketers of the national team received the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. That's all from our newsroom for now. Thanks for being with us. To join with MyTV News online, visit YouTube/MyTV News, and to watch all our programs, visit YouTube/MyTV Bangla, Facebook/MyTV Bangla, and Twitter/MyTV Bangla. Our next bulletin will be telecast in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Don't forget to join with us. Till then, stay connected. Viewers, be careful to prevent coronavirus and follow the hygiene rules. Allah Hafiz.